Okay, I mentioned yesterday that the man of the Rebbe, the man we just finished, the man of the Rebbe that's based on it, and if you don't mind, we'll learn to the Rebbe's Maimer also. Are you okay with it? Is everybody okay?
Yeah, I think it's great.
Okay, so I put it up Motzei Shabbos. You can see on the WhatsApp. It says Katointi Lo Shabbos Kodesh Vayeshev. You see that? Tavshin Yud Zayin. You see on the WhatsApp? If not, I'll bring it down again. I'll copy it at the end. So. You see it? Okay, I'll bring it again here. You see it now? Everybody sees it?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm starting to read from the inside, the Rebbe's Maimon. Okay? Okay, so the Rebbe says like this: Brings the same pasuk. Pirish Rabbeinu Nishmasei, which is the Alter Rebbe, Bala Simcha, which is the Maimon of Fitis Kislev. Pirish Rabbeinu the Alter Rebbe Pshat in the Gas Hakedesh Simen Beis, Shebukol Chesed v'Chesed Shakadosh Baruch Hu Eitzel L'Adam Tzarich Liat Shvalach Ma'it. Ki Chesed Ibchines Kirvas Alikim. Any time that the person experiences a Chesed in the Eivishter, kindness in the Eivishter, has to make him very humble. While the Eivishter's kindness to him makes them closer. The closer you get to the Eivishter, the stronger and higher you get, you have to become more humble. That's what Yaakov says, because it was Riba Chasodi, Milamayla, but that means Kirvas Alikim, Nasa Shvaruach Lamata. So the Rebbe, okay, that we had also now, Maimah, but the Rebbe, the next line, the Rebbe says it in the zone road. Tzorich la'ovin shachas einyonim kol ma shagilui l'mayla mayla is a par shifus l'mata mata. What's the connection of these two parts? The gilui par shifus. Yuvan ze behegdem tchila. So the goes now he goes into the sort of lumdus. These are begdem tchila sheklolus in a gilui, the old concept of gilui. It's really something additional to the essence. We never get a gil. The whole etzem built him is gale. The etzem itself is never revealed. The concept of oil is gil. So the oil is something additional. The relation of is additional to its essence. Agam she'er in the name of the Kalim. Oil is not like Kalim. Kalim and Musacha, Kalim is even further. Kalim is it's an additional thing, which means it's a Musacha. Kalim means that there's a vessel, there is a receptacle for the gili. On one hand, oil is not something additional. The whole point of the oil is to express the mind. From the list of mamish. It's not mamish the list of gilim, but the fact itself that the oil is gilim, that makes it additional to that. So all this we learned also in our Maimer in first, but here he says it a little bit in different words. And he says it's the fact the yachas the earth to the etzem is not like in the earth gufa des madreges. Da schon madrega tachtene gil gam madrega liena elam gam madrega tachtene. The lower madrega is more revealed to us than the higher madrega, and the higher madrega is more hidden from us. The madrega tachtene ela da neise madrega liena. The law of the earth is not a mamish something new and nice. Like my clothes in the earth, because the yachas of the earth to the etz and the yachas of the law madrigan earth to the higher madrigan that's not shalei be'er. It's only Helen McGill. Machine can close it to in the earth, the door nice of something new. But I know fish ain't a demo Elam Shmaguf Elam Etz. Because the Helen in the earth and the Madrigas of the higher earth, more by Helen than the lower, not the same way as the Etz. Elam Shmagagal in Shmagagal. The higher Madrig of earth is in a state of Helen. It's a state of concealment. The Yachas to the law is only relative. רק לגן הדרגה התחתונה שבו, מה שאין כן, שבאין המדרגה התחתונה ממנו, היי המדרגה, ראינו שגם המדרגה, ראינו שגם המדרגה ראינו מבחינת גילי, היי המדרגה זה עושה גילי, שבו בעצמי גילי, גילי לעצמי, והלמה רק המדרגה התחתונה, שבהלם המדרגה התחתונה שבו. He doesn't bring the shorim here, the simpler mashal is like machshav and diva. Machshava b'yachas to diva. So what's hidden in the machshava is mizgala in the diva. So the truth is that what he thinks is what he says, what he think. No vos b'yachas to the diva, b'yachas to the person who listens. So the way it's in machshava, it's behelam. The way it's in diva, it's v'gili. But it's the same thing. So the madrigal is also gili. Machshava is also gili la'atzmai. That's shva'atzmai b'gili. Va'alam yak madrigal tachtoin. Only the person outside can't understand. Misunderstanding the law, like in my emotional from Diva, it's not the noise. It's not like when you say something, no, it didn't exist in the machshava. It was there, but so the yachas. Okay, we'll use this marshal again. The Yachad Dibur Machshav is like Helen Vigili. The same thing. It's in the Helen and the Vigili. So it's naturally better. Hashem close in the Helen Gabe Etzem. As they compare.
I'm sorry. What are you reading from?
We're reading from the Rebbe's Maimon. I put it up on WhatsApp. The last WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So you see in the middle of Steve Bays.
So we need a little hard cover in here.
What?
I said we need a little hard cover. We need to digest it. So when I'm saying
he said it's similar. It's similar to the thing we learned in the Maimon Ayin Ches. It says more or less talking Ayin Ches. So basically, in this paragraph, he repeats the point he made in Ayin Ches in the beginning that the Oyer and Etzem and Oyer are two different worlds. The Etzem means commercial Atzem and Oyer means Luzilasnis. It's two different worlds. He said, Elam Begilu in Oyer Gufa are not Shaloi Be'er, are not two different worlds. Just the higher Madriga is more Be'elam than the lower Madriga. So I use the Mashal of Machshav and Dibo, which I think it's okay. So actually, maybe no, I didn't use it. In the Maimon itself, I don't think he used it. I didn't use it. It's in the Maimon itself, in page. This thing we're just reading now. It's in page. Where is it? Sorry, a second. Yeah, it's in bottom of page 36, right in the beginning. It also doesn't use the mashal of Mashal and Dibo, but I think the Mashal and Dibo is okay. Later, he brings okay. So basically, in this paragraph, it describes the difference between the Madrigas and Oyer and Etzem and Oyer. The Madrigas and Oyer, so the higher Madriga and Oyer, the guy with the lower Madriga and Oyer, it's just different element gilu. It's like my marshal of Machshav and Dibo, that a person has an idea, it puts its Megala La'atzmai in Machshav, and then it's Megala Zolotza in Dibo. So you can say that it's two different worlds. It's not a noise. It's not the chat when you speak, when you express it in speech, created something new. It's in a continuation. It's a gili, but with behelam in the machshav. Mashenkin bechol tzinin ha'el gabe etzem, ela etzem inach mashu behelam in ha'el. When you say that in the etzem it's be'elim, it doesn't just mean because it's hidden. That's interesting expression he uses here that the Rebbe Rashab doesn't use. The definition of etzem is hell. Call etzem being in his gal, built in his gal, the definition of etzem means the essence, means the way the things are to itself. So no matter what you do, it's always in a state of helen. Ain't never get a gil. Can never. The Gemara says, there's a feeling that a person has, and he expresses in words, he expresses the ideas, but a certain inner, what we call a gut feeling, can never be. That's also a muscle. It can never be really expressed. There's no way that somebody who doesn't have that feeling can perceive when if you have that gut.
It's not revealed. It's not revealed. You can't reveal.
No, I can't reveal it. No, it's not. It can't reveal the feeling. You can see that you feel that way, but that feeling itself is something which is impossible to express. No, you're right. It's not. But in other words, there's a certain inside something that happens inside you, which is by definition impossible to express. The Lashon, like the Gemara says, "Tavna the pure feeling of the heart is impossible to express." Like it's true what he's saying. It's possible to know that you have that feeling. I can see by your behavior, by the way you talk, by the way you sing, by the way you act, that you have an inner feeling. But the feeling itself is impossible to express. I think it's a fine motion. Let's say you think of an idea and you say it. So basically, whatever you thought, you said. So in that way, that's just Elam Begili. I'm trying to find a motion. So okay, so what? But there's a klach. Etzem built in his gal. That's one of the klachim. Like I said, it makes sense. It means the meaning of etzem means the essential being the way it is to itself. Lazois, all this he wants to. So the result of this entire discussion is the mele lazois. So what do we learn from this? I'm sorry, what's going on? So we learn from all this. In lazois, in the oil shu gilu, you don't know machodesh halet. So when there is oil, it's something new. Okay, like even in the marshal, he said, I said that you can see how a person feels by his behavior. So it's not so his behavior is something new. It's a result of the feeling, but the feeling itself is not there. You can't see the feeling. You can't experience the feeling. You can just know from his behavior, from what he said, from the way he behaves, that he has a certain feeling. But he can't see the feeling. It stays what it is. The expression of the feeling is a davar noisem choshalet. Okay, so now he brings in the nimshul. Klolos in the giluim shalamayla. All the giluim lamayla. That the giluim of the shalamayla. Soiv kalalmin, lamayla kalalmin. Klolos in the atzilus. Davar noisem. So according to that understanding, all the earth shalamayla, the earth soft, it's a davar nois of the essence. Shazayin atzilus nashna tzala v'afrosha. That's Merum is also in the fact that atzilus, oilam atzilus is called hatzala v'afrosha. Afrosha means separation, means it's separated from. It's a new thing. Shatzilus davar nivdav something separated and put aside. L'gabei giluim shalayim atzilus v'fad l'gabei etzem mamish. That's step one. And I adds another point, which also in our Maimon on page Kuf. Not only is the oil itself. Yeah, okay, so that, see this point, that is going to say in the Bible now. In a way, the Gilui Shemaim Atzilus is compared to the Etzem, but that's what he's going to say in the next paragraph. Lives about Shar when I say Etzem, it's a Gilui. Don't they say not only Etzem, not only biachas to the Etzem. It's a Davar Neisa biachas to the Kol Etzem. שגם הכל בעצם אין בגדר גילוי, ושכל הכל בעצם הרי כמו העצם, גם הכל בעצם אין בגדר גילוי. So it's also something we have in our mind, that bottom of page Tzadik Tes and top of page Kuf says the same point, that the ein haroich of the oil is not only regarding the etzem itself, the oil is a davar noisef also biachas to the oil kol b'etzem. So he brings us, because our Beinish was saying, the time the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, in the Shaykh V'Emunah, Gimel, Ba'amoshel, the Erev Ziv HaShemesh, the Alter Rebbe brings the Moshel, the famous Moshel from Erev Ziv HaShemesh, the light and the ray of the sun, when they get to the Savas Elomis. So he says, the Zeb Poshut, that's not the Lashon of the Alter Rebbe, but here he talks about it in his own language. זה פשוט שאר וזיו הזה יש נגם כמגוב החיים הכדור השמש עצר שבשמיים. It's obvious that the same air that shines outside of the body of the sun exists also within the body of the sun. בתקל החיים, שאם is פשוט mer לא כל כך, if the air can expand and shine so far, how much more is a Kalvachayma within its own location, within the sun itself? Surely it shines. But the way it exists within the Shemesh itself, within the Gufa Shemesh, it's considered Ein Vefes. Because it's total state on the notification of Gabe Guf Shemesh. The way it exists within its source, it's in a state of bittul, it's in a state of total nullification relative to the shemesh itself. In other words, what does it mean? That the way the earth within the oil, it's stuck there, but it's not in the real mitzvahs. It's not only it's not a it's a so the way he describes it is, that's what it says in our Maimer also, but in our Maimer, top of page Kuf, he says it in the Chotz Igel, means it's just the potential. Okay, so we established that not only the etzem is above Gilui, but even the Eira Kol. What?
Not ברור שהוא נמצא שם ממש.
I'm sorry, I can't hear. What?
שם. שיכול לעשות שזה ברור
I'm sorry, I can't hear you clearly. What? Is it the Lashon
שברור שיודעים את השם. It's not just a virus.
Yeah, because the Lashon, if you look, the Lashon Alter Rebbe in Tanya is Koshken Sheyuchal Lahoyer B'Mekayim. It's interesting. Sheyuchal. So yeah, okay, so that's a different sugya. That sometimes it says that it's there Bamish, and sometimes that Koshken Sheyuchal Lahoyer B'Mekayim Mamish.
I missed you the last minute. Something happened in my thing.
Oh, okay. So what it says here is that okay, we had a question. Basically,
no, my question was, if it's a Yechelis, it's not a Metzius.
Yeah, the Chayr, you're right. The Chayr is not a Metzius. That's what he said. Actually, that's what at least in our mind, this is what he's trying to say. That it's not a Metzius. It's only a Chayr. The Lashon da Alter Rebbe in Tanya is Kol Sheken Sheyuchal Lahoyer B'Mekayim. Doesn't say Kol Sheken Shemeir. But remember, we had a mimer once in Tafresh Tamachei that he took this Lashon of the Alter Rebbe. He had a very long arichas. Remember, he spoke the difference Ayin and Efes, all diuk. Nechshav oil Ayin Efes Mamash, commonly diukim. So that itself can be split and developed into madrigas in the chaylas gufa. There's the way. In other words, there is the way the oil is there as a mitzius. The way there is like now even the Maimon Chet says first it says Yochel because the Makam Achad and Koyer Pines Yichayos. That Yichayos. So, but this is the point in our Maimon. What he wants to bring out is that the Eish Kol B'Amor is not is Shalei Be'er to the Oyer Mamish. So mainly is Yichayos. Yichayos is also Shalei Be'er. But in other Maimorim, in other sources, talks more how the oil the way it's there, it actually shines. And the Lashon Alter Rebbe, like I said, it's koshken sheyuchal lo oil b'mkanim, not koshken shmeir. And that's why it says yechil. So for the purpose of our Maimah, it's actually, like I said, more that aspect is more negate to say that ain't beget with tzir, ain't beget agil, rak nesefel. לכן, הנה, יש לו גילוי, דו, נויסף, לא יקל העצם, אבל גם לא יקל בעצם, שגם לא יקל בעצם, אני דווקא גילוי, יכול לקל בעצם, לא יקל בעצם. Okay, that's like a repetition. Say again. I really not, you don't want to go into this whole long discussion with the madrigas in the Eira Kol B'Moyer, there's madrigas. Kol, there's Eira B'Yichelis. So that's a sigil atzma, and he doesn't go in here into that. Over here, he goes that Oya Kol means Yechelis, Rak Pines Yechelis. Okay, we'll state it because, but what he wants to bring out here is that the Oya, which is Meir, is the noise of not only on the Etzem but also on the Oya Kol Be'etzem. That part we can stick with. Yuvan Zabiyeser, then there is another marshal. Okay, let's see it out in what did it say? The Lashon in. Is it interesting? That's an interesting deal. But okay, we have to remember this. What we're reading now, the Rebbe's Maimon that we're reading now, it's not the Rebbe didn't write it. It's a Hanoch. He said it, and it's a Hanoch. It's not as not as Meduri. But the Lashon in the Rebbe Shab. No, it's not Mulga. No, it's not Mulga. So in the Rebbe's Maimon, in the Rebbe Shab, it says the Lashon. That's the Lashon. V'rayel is the Mekaychas Akunim and Zemanek. So in the Rebbe Shab, she was saying this Maimon. He brings a riot to Eir from Koiches HaNefesh. In here in the Rebbe's Maimah uses a different expression. That Koiches HaKolim BeNefesh it can be understood better. We'll try to see if we can understand it better because Koiches HaNefesh B'chlal, especially Koiches HaPshat, is something motion. Let's see how he takes it here. Even the B'yoser, Koiches HaKolim BeNefesh, understand it more from the way the Koiches HaNefesh, the attributes of the Nefesh, are contained within the Nefesh. She'einam B'chinas Gilui, the way that Koiches are in the Nefesh, they're not. He breaks it into three expressions. Einam B'chinas Gilui, they're not revealed. Einam B'chinas Metzius, they're not even existed. Gam Einam B'chinas Hamshacha Klal, they're not even drawn down. What's meant this? The Ine Kol Hamshacha. So that's the point he's making it. Okay, that's a Lashon. Okay. Kol Hamshacha. Now you make a statement. Kol Hamshacha. Any time something is drawn down, or something, some people translate Hamshacha, pull down, because Meshach means he pull. Meshicha. Echad Meshach as Hachamer, you pull. So Hamshacha means a pulling down. So Hamshacha be'ech in the Gemara says that in Oyesh 9 Meshicha for behemoth with pulling. Kol Hamshacha be'ech should self here in the Gil. Why? Wa'aynu she'efsha shagil rak part echad. Every Hamshacha Every time there's a concept that's called hamshacha, you pull something, it means the result is some kind of an expression. It's possible that the expression will be only in one detail. Also because of more or less. Again, it's an interesting statement because the whole concept of hamshach it's an abstract concept. So whenever we use the expression hamshach in I guess in Chassidus or in Kabbalah, whenever we use that expression, it automatically contains the concept that something is revealed, something is expressed. But Tamadova, and there's a reason, there's a logic to tell us. That's very abstract. I've shot it the but in other words, we say that in the world of citizen Kabbalah, the word Hamshacha, when you draw something, when you pull something, it automatically contains a certain level of view. A dogma of that, which also Pshat the dogma. Koyach HaMaskil Shamshacha then element the Koyach HaSeh. Koyach HaMaskil means that the person's Koyach intellect is being pulled. And that the pulling of the Koyach HaMaskil, pulling of that intellectual capacity includes is always at tzir. It means it has a certain shape, it has a certain direction. It's possible that the person draws within his koiches, draws from the seichel, he pulls his intellectual capacities, but it can be expressed in only one type of discipline. Okay, so what did we say here? That any time we draw, we pull some type of intellectual experience from our nefesh, it must be expressed in something.
But this is only the capacity to be smart in something. It's still, what is it called? The right? It's what is it?
What you're saying is later in the Maimon it talks difference in Koyach HaMaskil and Koyach HaSeichel HaYuli. Here,
Koyach HaMaskil.
Yeah, Koyach HaMaskil
it's the power to frame intellect.
Yeah, but even that also is Hamshach
has its seer.
Hamshach in the 11th. In other words, like we say, you spoke about the marshal a few times. Let's say this particular person, he has a good head for math. You know, there's a famous. It's a common way of talking. He has a very good head for math, which it means not only when he actually does the math. We say that he has a good head for math. It means he drew within his Koyach HaSeichel, this Koyach HaMaskil, that has a talent in math or in memory, a very good memory. So that itself is already a certain Hamshach. The important thing.
What does it mean?
That's the tzil. That's I mean, Yesha is a tzil. It's in a certain way. That's why I said this one has a good at math, and this one has a good at memory, and this one is good at music.
But Koyach HaMaskil is for everything.
No. The Koyach HaMaskil is not for everything. That's what you learned. We learned actually in the Maimon. There's two things. There's something called Koyach HaSeichel HaYuli Atzmi. There's something called Koyach HaMaskil. Koyach HaMaskil is an individual type of potential. That's what you learned. Koyach HaMaskil is only a specific type of seichel, not that. What you're talking about is Koyach HaSeichel Yuli Atzmi. That is for everything, but Koyach HaMaskil is for something specific. That's how Chassidus explains it. It's interesting. It's a terminology that I don't think exists before Chassidus, but that's how Chassidus describes it. Koyach HaMaskil, that's the capacity to be very good at a specific discipline.
So Koyach HaYuli Ha'atzmi is in a deeper level than Koyach HaMaskil?
Yeah. That's what you learned in our Maimer page Kuf Aleph. It's two things. There's Koyach HaMaskil, page Kuf Aleph. 1 second. Or maybe page, no, 1 second. No, say page Kuf Gimel, top of page Kuf Gimel. So he said, if you see in the page Kuf Gimel, Keinu b'Koyach HaMaskil, or Kamoi Keinu gam b'Koyach HaSeichel Yatzmi. Two different matters. All right, so Koyach HaSeichel Yatzmi is something everybody has. Not just this guy has a good head in math. Somebody has the chlal. Everybody has a Seichel Yatzmi. But the interesting thing, he brings all this to prove the opposite. From what does he want to prove from this? What does he want to prove from the fact that when Koyach HaMaskil is expressed, it's only in a specific, it's mamshach a specific type, prat echad, gil. What does it prove? From that we must say, שהכוח הזה הכלולי בנפש, אין בגדר המשך הכלל, גם לא בגדר המשך הנעלם. Because we see that when there is המשך הנעלם of Koyach HaMaskil, that's why I said, it's called נעלם because we're not talking about actual learning. Talking about the potential, like I said, he has a good head in math. He has a good head in memory. It's just a potential. We're not talking about the actual mathematical memory. We're talking about the ability that he has. That's nelam, but it's still some kind of hamshach. That proves that the way the kach within the nefesh not beged hamshach. Why? That way, each individual person that we learned that in our mind also, page Kuf. Each individual person would have all the koiches that he has in the potential state will all be in the way of gilish. The nefesh itself, because of its perfection, contains all the koiches.
So right now he's talking about Koyach HaYulim be'etzem.
Yeah. So if these koiches, the way they're klulim b'nefesh, will be in a state of hamshacha, if it's in a state of hamshacha, we just said hamshacha means gilu. If the state of hamshacha, so everybody will always be in a state, all the koiches are revealed. We see with our own senses that what yesh ka'elo that's a very edel. Yesh ka'elo she'ein some gilui chachma klal. Okay, the lashon. If you remember the lashon in the Rebbe Rashav's Maimer on the roim sheyesh sheitim v'chasrei deya. But the Rebbe as usual always spoke in a very call it. It says Lashon Neki. I always spoke Lashon Neki. I never said. He even said Nit. Eipach HaChayim. They always didn't use such strong words. So in the Lashon in the Maimon Ches Sheitim v'Chasrei Deya. The Rebbe says it in a very able language. She'ein estem gila chachma klal. Okay. ויש כאלו שהם רק חסד ואין לפעמים לך לחזור לספר, כלומר כלב, וזה מוכח שהכוח עשה כלול בנפש, אין מכניס המשוך. So that's the statement that we made here. That the fact that the koich עשה כלול בנפש, not מכניס המשוך, how do we see it? Because if that would be the case, everybody would be smart and nice, and not only that, יש כאלה שהם מכניס חסד ואין מכניס לחזור, there's no cruelty, but if what was the lashon? not that it sounds like Harzor is I think the most important thing I want to say came from Le'efa. Find some people, like now again, the Rebbe Chazan said, the ish kili v'arzar shelo yadarachim. But the Rebbe didn't want to use such language, so that I guess the Rebbe just says, Yesh keila she'elam arzari, it's k'meikin le'efa. Some people are arzari, like it says in the Rebbe sense. So what does it show? The fact that not everybody is the smartest and the nicest person, that itself is proof that the koyches haklolim b'nefesh are not these galus. Mizeh muchach she'akoyches haklolim b'nefesh ain't chesam shachtim. Okay, so what is the when they get linyanenu, what is the end result that we learn from all this? The fact that person has koyches haklolim, davar noisem chodesh v'koyches haklolim b'etzem hanefesh. She'ein beged Reb Shalom Klau. So just like we said earlier, when they get to Eira Kol Ba'etzem, that the Eira Amizgale is at Davar Noisem. And the Eira Kol Ba'etzem, a similar situation also happens in Koyches. That the Koyches and Ne'elam, really doesn't listen to the Koyches HaKlulim, sometimes called Koyches Ne'elam, the Koyches Shebenefesh, but the Koyches HaKlulim are Davar Noisem for the Koyches HaKlulim. But then he brings another point, which also the Rebbe Mishma also brings it, but it thinks it brings another point. The famous Gemara said, Yisrael, afal pishachota Yisrael, it's a pasuk in Tanakh, Shreiftim, Chota Yisrael, so he said, afal pishachota Yisrael. No, Shreiftim on Yeshua. Where is it? So
What's a shifting? It's a Maimer Hazav.
No, but the pasuk, yeah, I know, but the pasuk says Chota Yisrael. The Gemara says Af B'Shachota Yisrael. The lashon Chota Yisrael, I don't know. It's Chet Achan. It's going to get to Achan, I think. Yeah. Af B'Shachota Yisrael. The Af B'Shachota. Actually, it's the Chet Nichas Nishoshoy. Even though he sinned. And because of the sin, he's cut off from its source. Become a Yisrael. It's still a Yisrael. So that he adds another level here. That the soul applies not only to his etzem, even the koyches haklulim. All the blemishes to the head and koyches haklulim. אבל לא בקרחס הכלולים בעצם הנפש, הם תמיד בשלמות, שהם כמו העצם ממש. The koyches haklulim are always in the perfect state. Shalachin efshar liyas tzadik ben Rasha. You see, this is an expression in our Maimon and Ches that we learned way further later in the Maimon. Oh, actually, that's what the. Oh, wait a minute. This is, remember yesterday, page Kuvov. Here, these two paragraphs that we're not sure. So the Rebbe here now, the Rebbe's Maimon, he takes from the last paragraph, the page Kuvov. Af B'Shachot Yisraelu and Rasha ben Tzadik ben Rasha. So the Rebbe takes that point from the end of the Maimon and he puts it here. L'chein efshali Tzadik ben Rasha. Rasha can have a Tzadik because what does it mean that the Tzadik ben Rasha? That the Rasha also has the koyches.
I think we skipped a little bit Summa, no? Maybe.
What? Wait. That's what it said. Keshem shesuma ma'avid shalom. We didn't skip. You're reading it now.
Okay.
Keshem shesuma ma'avid shalom. Actually, it's Tzadik ben Rasha. Keshem shesuma ma'avid shalom. I brought we learned that I brought it this dogma. Suma ma'avid shalom. So, but in the Rebbe Nishma sense, it's not mentioned. The Rebbe mentions it. It's suma ma'avid shalom. A person who is one that's not blind can have a child who can see. What does that show? That the father also had in his neshama, not only in the etzem, also in the koyches haklulim be'etzem, he had the koyches sariyah, just Tzadik ben Rasha, he has the holiness. Calls them move on. Okay, all this was
so this is koyches, the fact that he could have.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay.
Usually, yeah,
it's not etzem, it's koyches. Okay,
yeah,
interesting.
that's what he says that. Which is quite a chidush. I mean, sometimes we say, it's an interesting question. sometimes we say, but the Lashon Rebbe Shul Saints Maimon Ein Ches is also. What does he say there? He said this shtickle, the Rebbe in his Maimon takes this shtickle from the end, from the Rishim in the end of our Maimon. Koiches. That's the Lashon of the Rebbe Shul Saints also. Etz Manefesh, Koiches HaKlulim Einam Nifrosim. רק בשחת היסוד, which means that he learns pshat, that the fact that Chot Yisrael is one. First of all, he learns pshat in Chot Yisrael. All this is a shtickl chiddush, because I think usually the way we understand usually is Se'al B'Shachot Yisrael, because the Etzem HaNefesh was not touched, right? That's what you usually learn. The same thing they say Summa Meilit Shalom. Why? Because the Etzem HaNefesh was not affected by the fact he's blind. Tzadik ben Rosh, the same thing. The Etzem HaNefesh. That we always learn the Etzem HaNefesh. And our Maimah, which is also in Rabbi Shav's Maimah, says all these three apply not only to the Etzem HaNefesh, also the Koiches HaKlulim. In other words, the fact that the Summa Meilit Shalom shows not just that the Summa has in this Etzem HaNefesh the Koyach HaRiyah, also the Koiches HaKlulim. How that is, I'm not 100% sure, because maybe it's, I don't know how that's proved that not just the Etzem but also the Koiches HaKlulim are also perfect.
Because you see that Summa Meilit Shalom.
I said, so how do we know it's Koiches? Maybe it's just the Etzem. How do we know it's the Koiches? Maybe the Etzem, because the Etzem is there, so the Etzem is transferred to the Etzem, and then the Etzem creates Koiches. Well, how does that prove that the Koiches are Klulim? I'm not saying that's not the case, but I want to know how is that a lie that even the Koiches are Klulim of Shleimus? Okay. Now, like I said, usually that's not the language.
He said before, מזה מוכח שהכויכס הכלולים בנפש אין לו מבחינת המשוך הכלל.
Yeah, that's when they get. But that move on. That the fact that not everybody is the nicest person, the smartest person. That's a raya. That the koiches hakulim are not based galus. Okay, that makes sense. But here he wants to prove another point. That he wants to prove that again. He wants to prove that the koiches hakulim benefesh are always perfect. What's the raya? Because a tzaddik can never, a rosh can never tzaddik. So how do we know it came from the koiches haklulim of the rosh? Maybe it came from the etzem. Okay, it's something we have to think about. Okay, we call the move on when again all this entire discussion. What is the maskana? שעניין זה שהאור דבר נויס אבל לא ירגע בעצם אלא גם גבי הכל בעצם שכמו העץ. כל זה, all these, so okay, so koiches hanefesh, okay, I understand the story koiches hanefesh, what he said earlier, that I understand, but the story of Yisrael b'shachoto, I guess again we can guess that Yisrael means not just Yisrael in the etzem. B'shachoto Yisrael doesn't just mean etzem, but also koiches haklulim, koiches shebetzem, because the word Yisrael describes a tzil, doesn't just describe.
He can act Jewish also. He's not just Passover.
Exactly. I don't know. Yeah, that not we say that a Jew as a pintali doesn't just mean that he's in essentially the etzem is a Jew. It means he has this potential to express this Jewishness. It means koiches haklulim benefesh. Yeah, it's a I would say it's a unique pshat in this mind. But it says also in the Rebbe Rashav's mind, the way the Rebbe develops it here in the Rebbe's mind, it's even more stronger. This point that the fact that they eat, we always say I eat as a pintal eat, doesn't just mean that he has this somewhere buried within him his Jewishness. It means that he has koiches haklulim. It means he has the ability to express his Jewishness. Which is another important point. כל זה מובן שנזה שהאדון נעשה רק בעצם, גם בערך כל בעצם כמו עצם. בעניין זה, now it takes us to different marshal, also that also in the minor first. בעניין זה הוא גם משפיע על מקבל. So this point we just made applies also to a teacher and a student. והנה שכל המשפיע הוא לגמרי, למעלה לגמרי מגיע לשכל המקבל. That's the hanoch, that's the statement we always learn, that the seichel mashpia, the real mashpia, a real teacher, which is a higher level, a person of a higher caliber. So his seichel is shalei be'erach, is shalmayla legamra migeda seichel makab. V'hainu, and he explains it better, which is actually in the Maimar of the Rebbe Hashaber also said, Shemayas mashpia makab, eilach mayas apnimis achitzenis mayla avshot al boshet. It's not just that the mashpia, the teacher, understands things deeper than the makabel. Or afshot al bosha is more abstract than the makabel. The student is more begushim. The teacher is more abstract. Afshot. That's not it. It just explains what it's not. It's not the pshat only that the mashpia understands that the ultimate inner pshat of the seichel. Mashenken the makabel understands only the chitzenius, or the seichel that the makabel gets is melubash. It's tangible, something capturable. Mashenken the way it's in the mind of the mashpia, mafshota, it's more abstract. At least serum is it's more than that. The way the seichel in the world of the mashpia, the teacher, it's a different entity. It's a different type. Okay, so he says that he brings a good dogma, but we also had a 9 chest. There's a difference between the way we learn Torah in Atzilus and the way we learn Torah biyah. הלוחס of נגוי, of צרס, שעלים למטה ובעניין נגע בגשמית. When we say, when we learn הלוחס נגויים in אלמזה, it says ביה, but למטה in אלמזה, שאדם, what does נגע mean? שאדם נקע, the blood becomes, what is the word נקע? It becomes, I don't know what the exact. It loses its strength, and as a lecha, it turns into some kind of
cloudy.
Cloudy. Okay, neka cloudy. Okay, yeah, true. But as a lecha, it becomes some kind of liquid. Moire, what does that mean by nega begashmis? A moire alistalkus adam v'chayis mamakamahu. It means at that particular location. When the nega that says in the psukim, that the nega ba'ir abaso is there's a nega. It means that the dam and the chayos, the blood and the life force of the nefesh, is removed from that particular location on the body. That's why the Targum Onkelos and Tzaras translates girusa, closeness. What do you mean? Girusa shenizga amoka ma'u. So that's interesting. That's in the Maimar, in the Maimar in Ches, he didn't. He also said Yosa. What does it say? But he doesn't explain it. The Rebbe explains it a little better here. That Nizgar, that the location is closed up from receiving the dam b'chayis. Okay, all right, we'll stop here today. Okay, continue tomorrow. I mean, it's another way of learning our mind with a little more.
Very good, Mark. Thank you. It's a great idea. Thank you.